You are about to eat something. Maybe you already have today. You picked it up, put it in your mouth, and barely thought about it. But here is the thing. Every single food you have ever tasted is the product of a world that is only about 10,000 years old. And 10,000 years in the life of your species is almost nothing. The real answer to what humans ate before that moment is far stranger than anything on your plate right now. Your body is not modern. That is the first thing you need to understand. The machine running you, the gut that digests your lunch, the hormones that make you crave sugar and fat, the jaw that chews, the stomach that growls at 1 p.m. because you skipped breakfast, all of it was built by a way of eating that has almost nothing to do with how you eat today. You are operating ancient hardware in a world it was never designed for. For roughly 2.5 million years, your ancestors ate without farming. No fields, no crops, no granaries, no bread, no rice, no domesticated animals, nothing that required them to stay in one place and tend to it. They moved, they hunted, they foraged. They ate what the land offered them and followed it wherever it went. This is what you were built to do, and the evidence of it is everywhere inside you, hiding in plain sight. So what did they actually eat? The honest answer is, it depends on where they were. And this is the first counterintuitive truth that researchers like Lauren Cordain, whose work on ancestral diets reshaped nutritional science in the early 2000s, spent years trying to communicate. There was no single human diet before agriculture. There were hundreds of them, maybe thousands, each one shaped by geography, season, and what was available within walking distance. A group of humans living near the coast of what is now South Africa ate shellfish, enormous quantities of them. Archaeologists excavating the Blombos cave site found shell middens, ancient trash heaps, that are over 70,000 years old. The people who left those piles behind were eating mussels, limpets, and sea snails, cracking them open with rocks. They were also, almost certainly, eating fish. And the omega-3 fatty acids in those foods may have played a role in the cognitive leap that makes the humans of that period look suddenly and dramatically more intelligent than anything that came before them. A group of humans living on the open savanna of East Africa was eating something very different. They were eating large animals, elephants, wildebeest, zebras, giant prehistoric buffalo that no longer exist. They were tracking these animals for days, sometimes longer, running them down in a technique called persistence hunting that anthropologist Louis Liebenberg documented among the San people of the Kalahari. The idea is simple and almost impossible. You cannot outrun an antelope in a sprint, but you can outlast it. You follow it, you track it, you push it until it overheats and collapses. Your body, unlike almost every other animal on Earth, can sweat fast enough to keep your core temperature stable while you run for hours. You were built to do this. Your legs, your feet, your sweat glands, the tendons in your arches. All of it is the product of millions of years of chasing things across open ground. But meat was not always available. And this is something important. The picture of early humans as primarily hunters is, according to the available evidence, probably incomplete. Richard Wrangham, the Harvard primatologist whose work on cooking and human evolution has fundamentally changed how scientists think about the human body, argues that cooking itself was the single most transformative event in human dietary history. Fire was not just warmth, it was the first food technology, and it was far older than most people realize. Wrangham dates the habitual use of fire in cooking to somewhere around 1.8 million years ago, coinciding with the emergence of Homo erectus. The body changed almost immediately in evolutionary terms. The gut shrank. The teeth got smaller. The jaw became less powerful. These are not the features of an animal eating raw, tough, fibrous food. They are the features of an animal eating food that has already been partially broken down by heat. You inherited that body. Your gut is shorter than a chimpanzee's because your ancestors outsourced part of digestion to fire hundreds of thousands of years before you were born. So what were they cooking? Everything they could. Roots, tubers, seeds, berries, nuts, leaves, fungi, insects, grubs, small animals, eggs, bone marrow cracked out of the bones of larger animals with heavy stones is nutrient-dense beyond almost anything you could buy in a grocery store today. Fat was precious, not feared, not avoided, actively sought. Your ancestors would have been confused by the idea of a low-fat diet. Fat was survival. It was winter. It was the difference between a successful hunt and starve.